Today I'm going to talk about the test that opens the doors around the world. IELTS, the International English Language Testing System. IELTS is designed to assess the language ability of people who want to study or work where English is the language of communication. IELTS is recognized and accepted over 9,000 organizations worldwide, including universities, employers, professional bodies, immigration authorities, and other government agencies. IELTS is offered up to 4 times a month in more than 140 countries. Tests are held on Saturdays and Thursdays usually. To find out a test date in your area, you can log in to the British Council or IDP's website, or you can visit the nearest IELTS test center. And IELTS is internationally focused in its content. For example, texts and tasks are sourced from publications from all over the English speaking world. A range of native speaker accents, North American, Australian, New Zealand, British, etc. are used in the listening test, and all standard varieties of English are accepted in the test takers' written and spoken responses. IELTS has been developed by some of the world's leading experts in language assessment and is supported by an extensive program of research, validation, and test development. IELTS is designed to assess English language skills across a worldwide range of levels. There is no such thing as pass or fail in IELTS. Results are reported as band scores on a scale from 1 being the lowest to 9 the highest. A 9 IELTS band score 9 is considered as an expert user, 8 very good user, 7 good user, 6 competent user, 5 modest user, 4 limited user, 3 extremely limited user, 2 intermediate user, and 1 non-user. 0 did not attempt the test. So before appearing for IELTS examination, we must prepare for the test. We can prepare for the test by familiarizing ourselves with the formats of the test, which I am going to discuss in the later part of this video. And we must practice for the test using different test materials available online and offline. And for that, we need to know the IELTS rules and regulations. IELTS rules and regulations are printed in notice to candidates when we register for the test, and the declaration form which we give along with our passport and other documents. And when you want to take the test, you need to register for the test. You have to go to a nearby IELTS test center for registering for the test, and then you must look for the available dates. Once when you are satisfied, you can register for that the test. Okay, the IELTS test is administered in 2 different modules, that is academic and general training. IELTS academic is for test takers wishing to study at undergraduate or postgraduate levels, and for those seeking professional registration. And IELTS general training is for test takers wishing to migrate to an English speaking country, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, UK, and for those wishing to train or study at below degree level. Each organization sets its own entry requirements. In some cases, both academic or general training may be accepted. If you are in doubt as to which test to take, you should contact the organization you are applying to in order to check their requirements. And in IELTS, you are tested on all the 4 language skills, namely listening, reading, writing, and speaking. Unless you have an exemption due to a disability, everyone takes the same listening and speaking test. There are different reading and writing tests for IELTS academic and general training candidates. The listening, reading, and writing tests must be completed on the same day. The order in which these tests are taken may vary, candidate to candidate. There are no breaks between these 3 tests. The speaking test may be taken up to 7 days before or after the other 3 tests. This is the test format. And now there are 4 different components of this test. Let me explain each component. First, let me discuss listening skills. Approximately 30 minutes is given for completing this task, apart from the 10 minutes which is given to transfer your answers to the OMR sheet. There are 40 questions in this section. A variety of question types are used, chosen from the following: multiple choice, matching, a plan, a map or diagram labeling for completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, summary completion, sentence completion, short answer questions. These are the different types of questions which are available in listening skills test paper. And there are 4 sections in the test. A listening skills test consists of 4 sections. Section 1 is a conversation between 2 people set in an everyday social context. There may be a conversation in an accommodation agency, like that. Section 2 is a monologue set in everyday social context, maybe a speech about local facilities or a talk about the arrangements for meals during a conference, like that. And section 3 is a conversation between up to 4 people set in an educational or training context. That may be a university tutor and a student discussing an assignment, or a group of students planning a research project. And section 4 is a monologue on academic subject, maybe a university lecture. Each section is heard once only. A variety of voices and native speaker accents are used. The skills assessed in this section are 1. Wide range of listening skills are assessed, including understanding main ideas, understanding specific factual information, recognizing opinions, attitudes, and purpose of a speaker, following the development of an argument. Marking: each correct answer receives 1 mark. Scores out of 40 are converted to the IELTS 9-band scale. Scores are reported in whole and half bands. This is about IELTS listening. Let us move on to IELTS reading test. The timing for reading test is 60 minutes. No extra time for transferring your answers to the OMR sheet. And the questions, there are 40 questions. A variety of question types are used, chosen from the following: multiple choice, identifying information, true, false, not given, identifying a writer's views or claims, yes, no, not given, matching information, matching headings, matching features, matching sentence endings, sentence completion, summary completion, note completion, table completion, flowchart completion, diagram label completion, short answer questions. So there are 3 sections in this area, reading. The total text length is 2150 to 2750 words. And this test consists of 2 different types: academic and general training. In academic reading, each section contains 1 long text. Texts are authentic and are taken from books, journals, magazines, and newspapers. They have been written for a non specialist audience and are on academic topics of general interest. Texts are appropriate and accessible to test takers entering undergraduate or postgraduate courses or seeking professional registration. Texts range from the descriptive and factual to the discursive and analytic. Texts may contain non-verbal materials too. A non-verbal material such as diagrams, graphs, or illustrations. If text contain technical terms, then simple glossary is also provided. And in general training reading, section 1 contains 2 or 3 short factual texts, one of which may be composite, consisting of 6 to 8 short texts related by topic. Example, hotel advertisement. Topics are relevant to everyday life in an English speaking country. Section 2 consists of 2 short factual texts focusing on work related issues, and section 3 contains 1 longer, more complex text on a topic of general interest. Texts are authentic and are taken from notices, advertisements, company handbooks, official documents, books, magazines, and newspapers. Skills assessed in this test are a wide range of reading skills are assessed, including reading for gist, reading for main ideas, reading for detail, understanding inferences and implied meaning, recognizing a writer's opinions, attitudes, and purpose, following the development of an argument. And marking, each correct answer receives 1 mark. The scores out of 40 are converted to IELTS 9 band scale, and scores are reported in whole and half bands. Okay, and writing. Now we move on to the next skill, writing. Timing is 60 minutes. There are 2 tasks. You are required to write at least 150 words for the task 1 and at least 250 words for task 2. There are 2 parts. In task 1, you are presented with a graph, table, chart, or diagram, and are asked to describe, summarize, or explain the information in your own words. You may be asked to describe and explain the data, describe the stages of a process, how something works, or describe an object or event. In task 2, you are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. The issues raised are of general interest suitable for and easily understood by test takers entering undergraduate and postgraduate students are seeking professional registration. Responses to task 1 and task 2 should be written in an academic, semi-formal, neutral style. And general training writing, in task 1 you are presented with a situation and are asked to write a letter requesting information or explaining the situation. The letter may be personal or semi-formal, neutral in style. In task 2, you are asked to write an essay in response to a point of view, argument, or a problem. The essay can be slightly more personal in style than the academic writing. Task 2 essay. The topics are of general interest. And we just move on to the skills assessed in this area. In both the tasks, academic and general training, you are assessed on your ability to write a response which is appropriate in terms of content, the organization of ideas, the accuracy and range of vocabulary and grammar. Academic writing, in task 1, depending on the task type, you are assessed on your ability to organize, present, and possibly compare data, to describe the stages of a process or procedure, to describe an object or event or sequence of events, to explain how something works. In task 2, depending on the task type, you are assessed on your ability to present a solution to a problem, to present and justify an opinion, to compare and contrast evidence, opinions, and implications, to evaluate and challenge ideas, evidence, or argument. In general training, in task 1, depending on the task type, you are assessed on your ability to engage in personal correspondence in order to elicit and provide general factual information, express needs, wants, likes, and dislikes, express opinions. In task 2, you are assessed on your ability to provide general factual information, to outline a problem and present a solution, to present and possibly justify an opinion, to evaluate and challenge ideas, evidence, or an argument. Marking, you are assessed on your performance on each task by certified IELTS examiners according to the IELTS writing test assessment criteria, task achievement, response, coherence, cohesion, lexical resources, grammatical range, and accuracy. And task 2 contributes twice as much as task 1 to the writing score. Scores are reported in whole and half bands. Speaking, timing for speaking test is 11 to 14 minutes. There are 3 parts in this test. The examiner introduces himself or herself and asks you to introduce yourself and confirm your identity. The examiner asks you general questions on familiar topics, maybe about your home, family, work, studies, and interests. In part 2, it's called individual long run. The examiner gives you a task card, a cue card, which asks you to talk about a particular topic and which includes points you can cover in your talk. You are given 1 minute for preparation and you are given a pencil and a paper to mark the notes. You talk for 1 to 2 minutes on the topic given. The examiner may then ask 1 or 2 questions on the same topic. Part 3, it's called two-way discussion. It runs to 4 to 5 minutes. The examiner asks further questions which are connected to the topic of part 2. These questions give you an opportunity to discuss more abstract issues and ideas. So skills assessed in speaking test are a wide range of speaking skills are assessed, including the ability to communicate opinions and information on everyday topics and common experiences and situations by answering a range of questions, the ability to speak at length on a given topic using appropriate language and organizing ideas coherently, the ability to express and justify opinions and to analyze, discuss, and speculate about issues. Marking, you are assessed on your performance throughout the test by certified IELTS examiners according to IELTS speaking test assessment criteria. Fluency, coherence, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy, pronunciation are evaluated. The scores are reported in whole and half bands. And let me give you some tips regarding the listening test. Each recording in listening test is heard once only. So you will be given time to read through the questions before you listen. As you listen, write your answers on the question paper. At the end of the test, you will have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet. It is essential that you transfer your answers to the answer sheet, as nothing you write on the question paper will be marked. You must write your answers in pencil. An example of a completed listening answer sheet may be downloaded. Completion question type. Pay attention to the word limit. For example, if you are asked to complete a sentence using no more than 2 words and the correct answer is leather coat, the answer coat made of leather would be incorrect. Please understand. If in the question it is given as no more than 2 words and the correct answer is leather coat, the answer coat made of leather would be incorrect. So transfer only the missing words to the answer sheet. For example, if you have to complete the note in the and the correct answer is morning, the answer in the morning would be incorrect. You will hear the words you need to use in the recording. You will not need to change the form of words you hear. Pay attention to the spelling and grammar. You will lose marks for mistakes. You may write your answers in lowercase or in capitals. Reading. You may write your answers directly on the answer sheet, or you may write them on question paper and transfer them to the answer sheet before the end of the test. You will not be given extra time to transfer answers at the end of the test. Nothing you write on the question paper will be marked. You must write your answers in pencil or pen. An example of a completed reading answer sheet can be downloaded. And completion question types, note completion. The same rules apply to completion question types as in listening. The words you use must be taken from the reading text. You will not need to change the form of words in the text. Writing. You may write your answers in pencil or pen. Pay attention to the number of words requiring for each task. You will lose marks if you don't write at least 150 words for task 1 and at least 250 words for task 2. You should spend approximately 20 minutes on task 1 and approximately 40 minutes on task 2. You must write your answers in full. Answers written in note form or in bullet points will lose marks. Pay attention to spelling, grammar, and punctuation. You will lose marks for mistakes. You may write your answer entirely in capitals if you wish. You may make notes on the question paper, but nothing you write on the question paper will be marked. So, test results. You will receive the test report form which reports a score for each of the 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking, as well as an overall band score. Off-band scores may be awarded to indicate a strong performance within a particular band. You can find more information on test score processing and test score interpretation on IELTS websites. Results are available 13 calendar days after the test. At some test centers, test takers may collect their results on the 13th day. At others, results may be mailed on the 13th day. Test centers are not permitted to give results over the phone or by fax or email. You will receive only one copy of the test report form. It is important that you keep it safe, as replacement test report forms cannot be issued. Test centers will send copies of your test report form up to 5 organizations free of charge. You can preview your results online 13 calendar days after the test. Results may remain online for 28 days. Please note that online preview of results should not be used as an official confirmation of your performance. Organizations will not usually accept a test report form that is more than 2 years old unless you provide an evidence that you have actively maintained or tried to improve your English since taking the test. IELTS test partners cannot confirm the validity of the test results that are more than 2 years old. There are no restrictions on retaking IELTS. You can register for a test as soon as you feel you are ready to do so. Please note that your score is unlikely to increase unless you make a significant effort to improve your English language skills before taking the retest. So this is all about international English language testing system. If you have any queries, you can address me to my mail ID DANIEL Daniel@gmail.com at any time of the year. Thank you so much for watching.